It was 5 a.m., and the relentless pounding on my apartment door shattered the silence of the night like a thunderclap. I stumbled out of bed, heart racing, peering through the peephole to see her, Elena Vargas, my CEO, the iron-willed woman who commanded boardrooms and billion-dollar deals, standing there in the dim hallway light, her mascara streaked, her designer coat rumpled, looking more broken than I'd ever imagined possible. What could the untouchable Elena possibly want from me, a mid-level analyst in her company, at this ungodly hour? As I cracked the door open, she whispered, "Alex, I need you," and that's when everything changed forever. But let me rewind. My name is Alex Rivera, 32 years old, single, and utterly ordinary in a world dominated by extraordinary people like Elena. I'd been working at Vanguard Tech for 5 years, buried in data reports and late-night crunches, always admiring her from afar. She was 38, a force of nature, sharp, ambitious, the kind of leader who inspired loyalty and fear in equal measure. Her recent divorce from that high-profile venture capitalist had been splashed across tabloids. Tech mogul's marriage crumbles amidst scandal. Rumors swirled about infidelity, power struggles, the usual mess. But to me, she was just the boss, distant, flawless, untouchable. Until that knock. I opened the door wider, the cold air from the hallway rushing in like a slap. A mess. Vargas? Elena? What are you doing here? Is everything okay? My voice was hoarse from sleep, my pajamas a far cry from the polished suits I wore to the office. She stepped inside without invitation, her heels clicking softly on my worn hardwood floor. The scent of her perfume, something expensive and floral, mixed with the faint hint of rain from outside. She collapsed onto my couch, burying her face in her hands. "Alex, I don't know where else to go. My life, it's falling apart." Her voice cracked, and for the first time, I saw the cracks in her armor. But as she looked up, her eyes locking onto mine with an intensity that made my stomach twist, she added, "There's something I have to tell you. Something I've hidden for years." And just like that, the world tilted. What confession could possibly bring the mighty Elena to my doorstep? I poured us both coffee, my hands shaking as I handed her a mug. The kitchen clock ticked mercilessly, marking the minutes as dawn crept in through the blinds. Elena sipped slowly, her composure slowly returning, but her eyes were red-rimmed, haunted. "You probably think I'm crazy for coming here," she said, a bitter laugh escaping her lips. "The truth is, Alex, I've watched you. Not in a creepy way, God, that sounds awful, but in meetings, in the way you handle crises. You're steady. Kind. The opposite of everything my marriage was." I sat across from her, stunned. Her marriage? Why was she opening up to me? We'd barely spoken outside of work emails and the occasional nod in the elevator. As she continued, her words painted a picture of a life I never knew. The pressure of being a female CEO in a male-dominated industry, the loneliness of power, the betrayal by her ex-husband who had cheated with her best friend. "I thought I had it all," she whispered, "but it was all a facade." Then, she paused, her gaze dropping to her hands. "But that's not why I'm here. The real reason. Alex, I think I'm in love with you." My heart stopped. Love? From her? It had to be a joke, a breakdown, anything but real. But as the silence stretched, I realized this was no hallucination, and that's when the first real wave of doubt hit me. What if this was a trap? The confession hung in the air like smoke, thick and disorienting. I leaned back, my mind reeling. "Elena, you're my boss. And newly divorced. This can't be right. Are you sure you're okay? Maybe you need to talk to a friend," or, she cut me off, standing up abruptly, pacing the small living room. "I know how it sounds. Pathetic. Desperate. But it's true. It started small, your insights and reports, the way you'd stay late to help the team without expecting praise. Then it grew. During the merger last year, when everything was chaos, you were the one who kept me grounded. I saw you, Alex. Really saw you. Her voice trembled, and tears welled up again. I wanted to believe her, but doubt gnawed at me. Was this vulnerability genuine, or was it the rebound from a shattered marriage? As she reached for my hand, her touch electric, I pulled back slightly. I need time to process this, I said. But deep down, a spark ignited. Could this be the start of something real? Little did I know, the confession was just the tip of the iceberg, and secrets from her past were about to surface that would test everything. We talked for hours as the sun rose, the city awakening outside my window. Elena opened up about her childhood, growing up in a small town, fighting her way through scholarships and sexism to build Vanguard from a startup in a garage to a tech giant. I sacrificed everything for success, she admitted, her voice soft. Friends, family, love. My marriage was a business arrangement, really. But with you, it's different. I shared my own story, losing my parents young, working 2 jobs through college, landing at Vanguard as a safe haven. We bonded over shared pains, the isolation of ambition, the fear of vulnerability. It felt surreal, this powerful woman bearing her soul in my modest apartment. But as the conversation deepened, she revealed a challenge that hit like a gut punch. Alex, there's more. During the divorce, my ex. He threatened to expose company secrets. Secrets that could ruin Vanguard, and me. My eyes widened. Company secrets? Was she here for help, or was I being pulled into a corporate nightmare? The weight of it pressed down, and I wondered if opening that door had been a mistake. But as she leaned in, her lips brushing mine in a tentative kiss, the world blurred, and then my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Stay away from her, or you'll regret it. Who was watching us? The kiss lingered, soft and unexpected, sending a jolt through me. But the text shattered the moment. I showed it to Elena, her face paling. That's him, she whispered. My ex, Marcus. He's vindictive. Paranoid. We decided to ignore it for now, focusing on the fragile connection blooming between us. Over the next few days, our lives intertwined in secret. Stolen lunches in hidden cafes, late-night calls where she'd vent about board meetings, and I'd offer quiet support. I saw the real Elena. The one who laughed at bad jokes, who loved old jazz records, who admitted to crying over rom-coms. But challenges mounted. At work, rumors started, whispers about her erratic behavior post-divorce. I faced my own doubts. Was I risking my career for a fantasy? One evening, as we walked through the park, hand in hand under the streetlights, she stopped. Alex, I have to tell you something else. Before the divorce, I made a mistake. I covered up a data breach to protect the company. If it comes out, it's over. My heart sank. A cover-up? Ethical lines blurred. Could I love someone who bent the rules? As we argued under the stars, her tears flowing freely, a shadow moved in the bushes, and suddenly, a figure emerged, camera flashing. Paparazzi? Or worse. The photo hit the tabloids the next morning. CEO's secret affair with employee, rebound or scandal? Chaos erupted. At Vanguard, HR called me in for a chat, questioning conflicts of interest. Elena fought back in a press conference, poised as ever, but behind closed doors, she crumbled. This is my fault, she sobbed in my arms that night. I dragged you into this. We faced the storm together, hiring lawyers to handle Marcus's threats, coming clean to the board about the data breach, which turned out minor, resolved quietly. It tested us, nights of arguments, days of silence. But through it, we grew. I learned to stand up for myself, demanding transparency. She learned to let go of control, trusting me as a partner, not a subordinate. One pivotal moment came during a company retreat. Marcus showed up uninvited, cornering Elena with accusations. "You're using him, just like you used me," he snarled. I stepped in, calm but firm. "No, Marcus. She's choosing happiness. Something you never gave her." He backed down, defeated. That resolution marked a turning point. Elena filed restraining orders, and we went public with our relationship, turning scandal into strength. Months passed, and our bond deepened. We navigated the corporate world as equals. I got promoted on merit, not favoritism, and Elena delegated more, finding balance. But one final challenge loomed, her fear of commitment after the divorce. On a quiet weekend getaway to the mountains, as we hiked through misty trails, she confessed, "Alex, I'm scared. What if I ruin this too?" We sat by a campfire, stars overhead, and I held her. "We're not perfect, but we're real. That's enough." That night, under the vast sky, she proposed, not with a ring, but with a promise, "Marry me, Alex. Let's build something unbreakable." Tears streamed down my face as I said yes. It wasn't easy. Therapy helped us unpack traumas, and we faced skepticism from colleagues. But we resolved it all, emerging stronger. Looking back, that 5 a.m. knock wasn't just a confession, it was a lifeline. Elena taught me vulnerability is power, and I showed her love doesn't require perfection. Today, we're married, running Vanguard as co-leaders, inspiring our team with authenticity. If you're feeling lost, remember, sometimes, the unexpected knock is the start of your greatest story. Open the door. If you enjoyed this emotional roller coaster, hit that like button and subscribe for more heartfelt stories that remind us of the power of second chances. Thanks for watching.